At first, let me introduce myself. My name is Felix Adi Pramono. I was born in Semarang, Central Java, in 1976, and I spent part of my childhood in the capital city of Jakarta. My first encounter with hermit crab was when I was 2 or 3 years old. My mother bought me one medium-sized Cenobita rugosus in an ugly turbo shell, and it scared me. I wasn't interested at all in that little animal. I began falling in love with hermit crabs in early 1980s, when I frequently encountered some hermit crab vendors in front of my kindergarten. That was because the hermit crab stock did not consist only Cenobita rugosus. Instead, there were other species such as Cenobita brevimanus, Cenobita perlatus, and Cenobita violacens, with beautiful and unique shells. But in that time, I don't know how to take care land hermit crabs. My educational background is actually not related to biology at all. I got my bachelor degree on tourism in 2010. I had previously worked at an airline company, at an independent flight attendant and airline ground staff training institution, as well as a part-time walking tour guide in Bandung, West Java. I started to keep hermit crabs again in early 2000 after I read a book written by Neil Pernack that I borrowed from Kapahulu Public Library, or around Waikiki area in Hawaii. In 2005, when I was working at a flight attendant training institution, I used my spare time, especially on Sunday, to write a hermit crab basic care book in Indonesian language. And in 2006, when I published that book, I have been the first hermit crab related book author in Southeast Asia. I run my own business on hermit crabs and seashells, named Happy Crabby Umang Kelomang. I do retail and wholesale business. Hello, my name is Felix Adi Pramono, or usually you called me Felix Cewang. I'm from the city of Jakarta, Indonesia. At first, I would like to thank you to all committees of CrabCon 2020 who has appointed me to bring this topic. Collection and exportation of hermit crabs in Indonesia. Indonesia is a large country that covers 1,904,569 square kilometers, or approximately 735,358 square mile area. It is stretched between latitude of 11 degrees south and 6 degrees north and longitudes of 95 degrees east up to 141 degrees east. Indonesia is the largest archipelago in the world. There are 5 main islands: Java, where the capital city, Jakarta, is located; Sumatra, Kalimantan, or Borneo; Sulawesi, or Celebes; and the western half of New Guinea, or currently called Papua in Indonesian, plus other 13,600 smaller islands. It is no doubt that this country also has the longest coastline compared to other countries in the world, if you accumulate or sum up the length of the coastline of all existing islands within the Indonesian territory. The equator lies across the archipelago from west to the east. That means Indonesia has year-round sunshine, and due to the tropical climate and 78% humidity, the coastlines are perfect habitat for many land hermit crab species. Since 2016, Indonesia has been known as the one and only country in the world that is inhabited by at least half of the total recorded land hermit crab species, or Genobitidae family in the world. In Indonesia, we have Pyrgus latro, or the giant coconut crab, Genobita brevimanus, Genobita cavipes, Genobita lila, which is recently found in 2016, Genobita perlatus, Genobita pseudorugosus, Genobita rugosus, Genobita violacens, and maybe in the near future there will be around 1 or 2 new land hermit crab species found in Indonesia. Here's the comparison table about the existence of land hermit crabs in Indonesia and other Southeast Asian countries. In Southeast Asia, we have 10 other countries besides Indonesia, which is Brunei Darussalam, Cambodia, Myanmar, Malaysia, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, East Timor or Timor-Leste, and also Vietnam. And here is the table of distribution areas of each species in Indonesian territory. Hermit crabs have been indeed popular among Indonesian children since a long time ago. They were not considered as pets. Instead, they were considered as toys or a kind of throwaway pets. You could buy them at a cheap price, and when the hermit crabs died, you would be able to get the new ones at very affordable price as well. Even in Semarang, Central Java, during my childhood in early 80s, marine hermit crabs were commonly sold on the beach near the city, and the customers didn't get any education at all from the seller about how to treat such marine animal. That because the marine hermit crabs will always need marine water all the time. And until 2001, absolutely nobody in Indonesia, either sellers or keepers, have ever thought or taught people the basic care sheet of land hermit crabs. In 2001, for the first time, I raised this issue to the Indonesian public by writing a light article about land hermit crabs in Intisari magazine. It is a local magazine in Indonesia. Now I'm going to explain about how the hermit crabs are collected from their natural habitat and being transported to the big cities in Indonesia such as Jakarta or Surabaya, and then exported abroad. The first step is hermit crab hunting and collection. Fishermen or hunters put bait station on the beach or forest near the beach. They usually dig a pond-like space in the sand or soil, then put a tarp as the liner. Some pieces of food or bait are put inside the pond with tarp liner, and the hermit crabs will come into it because they are attracted by the smell of the food. But later on, they will not be able to climb out from the bait station since there is a tarp or plastic liner, which is slippery for the hermit crabs. In several parts or some outlying islands of Sumatra's Indian Ocean, or maybe from East Nusa Tenggara or Lesser Sunda Islands, where many hermit crabs still can be found abundantly, the hunter or the fisherman just catch the hermit crabs from the beach. They just come to the beach and collect the roaming hermit crabs on the beach. After the hermit crabs are collected by the hunters or the fishermen, the next step is the first leg of transportation from the island to the provincial capital or the largest city, closer to the hermit crab source. If the hermit crabs are collected from several outlying islands around Sumatra's Indian Ocean coast, They will be shipped by boat to the main island. In several provincial capitals, such as Padang or Bengkulu, there are some wholesalers that supply hermit crabs to several vendors around Jakarta at regular basis. Sometimes, when the order is slow, or maybe because the supply from the island is slow, because the bad weather, because the sea is dangerous or rough, the hermit crabs will be deposited at wholesalers' place in those cities for quite a long time before shipped to Jakarta. There are some risks emerge when the hermit crabs are compiled too long. Maybe the hermit crabs will be stressed, maybe they are dehydrated, because the wholesaler, sometimes they don't care about giving salt water and fresh water to the hermit crabs for drinking. And sometimes, because they are stocked in very crowded condition, the hermit crabs will fight each other, and it may result that the hermit crabs got too many broken legs or claws, or too much flaw on the hermit crabs, and it make the hermit crabs not good for sale. The next step is sorting the species out. I'm only taking one sample or one source of hermit crabs, which are usually supply hermit crabs to Jakarta at regular basis, which is from the Sumatra's Indian Ocean coast or the western coast of Sumatra. So the location I'm talking about is about somewhere in Sumatra on the western coast of that island at the wholesaler's place. Usually the wholesaler will separate the strawberry land hermit crabs or Genophyta perlatus. In one batch, usually they only cut around 5% up to 10% of the total population, because the western coast of Sumatra Islands and some outlying islands are inhabited by at least 5 species of land hermit crabs. The majority is Genophyta rugosus, usually around 60 up to 70% of the caught hermit crabs. And the second one could be Genophyta brevimanus or Genophyta violacens. And usually, among them, we can also find some Genophyta cavipes. The Genophyta cavipes are usually very weak, because the fisherman or the hunter, they really don't care about separating or sorting out the species when they ship the hermit crabs from their island to the wholesaler. They just consider all the hermit crabs are same. The Genophyta cavipes could be the weakest one, because usually they are bullied by other species of hermit crabs, either Genophyta brevimanus or Genophyta violacens. So it is quite common, if I got a shipment from Sumatra, usually the Genophyta cavipes got at least one broken leg, and very rare we can find Genophyta cavipes with intact claws or legs. The next process is second leg of transportation. Normally, the hermit crabs are transported by truck or bus from Sumatra to Jakarta. It may take approximately 2 up to 3 days. But I usually get the strawberry land hermit crabs or Genophyta perlatus being shipped directly from Padang to Jakarta by plane. I usually get the strawberry land hermit crabs or Genophyta perlatus being shipped directly from Padang to Jakarta by plane. But sometimes the Genophyta perlatus are shipped together using land transportation with the other species when the quantity is very small. There is a different story about Indonesian blueberry land hermit crabs or Genophyta lila species. Since the first time I discovered this species in 2007 after an observation on several Indonesian islands, and previously I considered this species as Cenobita purpureus due to the color similarity until 2016. I have never obtained the Cenobita lila from wholesalers. Instead, I am always in contact with a fisherman who organizes the collection, and the hermit crabs are directly shipped to me by plane. Usually, I only order the Cenobita lila around twice up to 3 times in a year. When I receive a new stock of hermit crabs, there are a lot of things to do. Usually, I spend around 2 up to maybe 4 or 5 hours to clean the hermit crabs from fecal matters on the shells. I always brush the hermit crabs one by one. And after that, I have to classify the hermit crabs. This is in case in one batch there are several species. I have to sort the size and species out. I have just got some new stock from my supplier, and you see most of the shells in very dirty condition, lot of feces and maybe like some dead hermit crabs or maybe some liquid from the dead hermit crabs that I have to brush it one by one. Otherwise, something like rotten things on the shell will remain in my stock, and it will kill the healthy hermit crabs. So it's clean already. Got the other one. Okay. And for the new batch of hermit crab, I will always put them in quarantine first. I will not put them in my Crabitat or my existing stock, because I'm afraid if they are unhealthy, actually it would be dangerous for the healthy stock. Okay. And after that, I will have to rehydrating and bathing the hermit crabs. I place the hermit crabs in a tub with shallow water about the lowest joint or the dactylus, with several pieces of rocks to climb. I let the hermit crabs to clean the gills and the shell interior by themselves. And after that, I separate the died and dying hermit crabs from the healthy stock. Normally, I put the newly incoming stock separated from the existing stock for around 2 up to 4 days, because sometimes a hermit crab may look healthy upon arrival, but later on, the hermit crab die or start to drop the limbs after 24 hours. It is because they are stressed. Now I'm going to talk about how to export land hermit crabs from Indonesia. This is what the shipper or the exporter will have to do. The shipper or exporter should be a registered exporter. There is an additional requirements if you are going to ship to several countries who have bilateral agreement with Indonesia. The exporter will have to hold a kind of good fish quarantine facility certification issued by the Indonesian Quarantine Office. It is only required if the hermit crabs are going to be sent to several countries, such as People's Republic of China, South Korea, Vietnam, or Canada. And I will always put aside any hermit crabs that show pre-molt or proecdysis symptoms. Maybe if I see some gel limbs from missing legs, and when I see the hermit crabs are quite sluggish, I will not ship them Then I will make airline cargo reservation. For any shipment, the exporter will have to submit some samples to the fish quarantine office for a lab test. The lab test actually depends on to which country you are going to send. Sometimes one country will require around 7 or 6 targets. The health certificate will be issued by the Indonesian Fish Quarantine Office on the departure date if the samples pass the lab test. And this is what the consignee or the importer will have to do. The importer at the destination country has to hold import license or permit for crustaceans, or sometimes specifically for hermit crabs from their own local government. In several countries, the importer will have to hold a kind of good fish quarantine facility certification as well. If you are a retail buyer, or you are going to buy hermit crabs in very small amount and you don't have any import license, you should contact a company or somebody in your country who holds import permit for hermit crabs or crustacean. You should discuss how much the importer, or sometimes called transshipper, will charge you for his or her service before ordering. Normally, live animals are sent to another country as a live animal cargo. Or in other words, they will be shipped using air cargo, and they will have to adhere to all steps and requirements on the previous slides. Either if you are a shipper or exporter, or you are a consignee or importer. But sometimes, if you buy less than 10 hermit crabs from Indonesia, the Indonesian Quarantine Office will allow the seller to deliver the hermit crabs by himself. Or in another word, the hermit crabs will be carried by the seller or the delivery man as a accompanied package. The seller or the delivery man will fly as a passenger of a flight, and the hermit crabs will be put in the package. But for sure, the consignee or the receiver at the destination country should guarantee that the delivery man or the seller will be able to bring the hermit crabs into the respective country. The consignee or the receiver or the hermit crabs should also have the import license from the local government. If the hermit crabs are carried as accompanied package or delivered by the seller, him or herself, to the destination country, the seller or exporter does not have to be a registered exporter, but he or she will still have to submit samples for the lab test, holding health certificate issued by the local fish quarantine office on the departure date, while the buyer or the receiver or the consignee should also hold an import license or permit for hermit crabs granted by the local government. The difference is only, instead of paying the air cargo rate, he or she, I mean the buyer, pays the seller's round-trip ticket for delivery. There are some social media effects on hermit crab trading. The positive effects or implications are bringing sellers and potential buyers closer, and social media being an easier and cheaper means of education to new sellers and new buyers as well. But there are some drawbacks or negative effects as well. For example, increasing greed, either on sellers or buyers' side. Sometimes the hunter or fishermen with lack of education are trying to catch hermit crabs as many as possible. They don't care about the sustainability on the habitat. People or sellers from other fields are trying to jump into hermit crab business without proper passion and knowledge. In this occasion, I would also like to say that in the early years of Kelomang Lovers Indonesia existence on Facebook, maybe late 2015, there are some drawbacks or negative effects in hermit crab exploitation from the nature. Because in that early years, the group administrator was intending to make such group to facilitate hermit crab buying and selling, besides the education and discussions. And there had been some greedy people who tried to jump in the hermit crab business without proper knowledge or passion on hermit crabs. Proper screening on the new members was very poor on that group. Now Facebook has banned animal buying and selling activities. But what so-called side effect still presents, because in the early years, Kelomang Lovers Indonesia Group opened the gate for greedy traders who want to fulfill the demand as many as possible and collect the hermit crabs continuously as many as possible from their habitat. I actually had warned the administrator of that group that it would not be wise to share knowledge openly and allow hermit crab hunters or fishermen from rural areas or faraway islands to interact on social media with the hobbyists or potential foreign buyers. Because most of them only have this kind of mindset. I don't need to buy the hermit crabs. I just need my mussel or plus gasoline for my boat or motorbike to collect the hermit crabs. They are plentiful in my village. I can provide you continuously about 100 kilograms per month. And right now, actually, selling hermit crabs in painted shell is still being done by some middle and low class street vendors in Indonesia. And the customers are from middle and low class as well, untouched by the education from social media. And sometimes, if we try to educate them, they will not hear. They just still consider the hermit crabs as toys for kids, not living animals. In my humble opinion, actually, we, the hobbyists, and some educated sellers should make a barrier or wall that split us from greedy fishermen or hermit crab hunters because of such kind of bad mindset. Or in another word, hermit crab care and education groups on social medias are only proper for educated sellers and hobbyists, and should not open the eyes of uneducated hunter or fishermen from rural areas that hermit crabs are profitable export commodities. This is just some suggestions about what shall we do, especially on social medias or Facebook. We should report to administrator of the Facebook for any advertisement containing bulk or trading of hermit crabs, selling hermit crabs per kilogram, or showing videos or pictures of hermit crabs in very crowded condition. And if we have a kind of hermit crab group for education or for hobbyists or maybe for buying and selling, we should do the screening on group member candidates. This is especially for Facebook group owners in Indonesia. They should be smart enough in profiling new member candidates. Some uneducated people, such as fishermen, hermit crab hunters, should not be allowed to join the group and interact with hobbyists and sellers on hermit crab groups. Instead, they may contact the potential buyers through private way. In my humble opinion as well, we should not feed them easy ways to get buyers without proper knowledge. Thank you for attending my presentation. In the future, if you get any chance to visit Indonesia, I will be happy to show you the natural habitats of the 8 species of land hermit crabs. See you again next time.